Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Whitney with Crafty Thoughts and Whatnots, and today we're going to repurpose an old arrangement. I'm gonna turn this, I had a 2-foot long container I made, I think it was 2019. The video is still on my channel. Remember this girl right here? She's so cute. But every once in a while you got to refresh some stuff. So I made this in 2019 and I live streamed it here on my channel. You'll be able to see it. If you want to go back and watch, it's an hour and 40 minutes long, so be prepared and don't type in the comments about how long it is. So what I did here is I'm going to take everything out of this arrangement. I want to use the base, but I want to turn it into a nice new fresh farmhouse look for my kitchen. I've had this out for a while, and I told you guys I leave pumpkins out year round. I am not kidding you. I have different arrangements all around. Now this one just screamed fall because of the colors I used in it. And so I wanted to take it apart and just give it a new life, a new breath of fresh air. And if you saw the thumbnail, you'll see exactly what it looks like in the end. So I did mainly use some boxwood pieces that I got off of Amazon, but I didn't glue everything back in. Now you're seeing me here, I'm literally pulling this apart. I did use glue. I used a lot of it actually, and I've used some floral pins and some other goodies in this girl here, but for the most part, I've only sped this thing up about 5 times because I have a neatness issue. I can't make a big mess, and I don't like to leave things for later because in my experience, if I just push something off to the side, I won't do it. I won't touch it later, or I'll go to use it thinking that it's ready to go, and then I'm like, oh no, I got to pull off all the moss. I got to pull off this extra glue. I got to pull all this together. So this took about 15 minutes in real life with the magic of editing and all this other special stuff. You do not have to sit through 15 minutes of me picking glue off and making my fingers raw. But anyways, today in the Thunderdome, or the craft room, same thing, aka, I'm just going to pull everything out of here. So if you have a container that you really like, my suggestion is don't use glue. Just push things into your styrofoam and keep in mind that, the items in there aren't permanent, and it makes it a lot easier on yourself. Also, I am not throwing anything away here. I saved everything. I even saved the moss. You're going to see, like, obviously some of the stuff, the extra little pieces there on top of my table right there, that went into the trash. But the larger chunks of moss, I even kept that because this can all be repurposed into other arrangements. We're going to be starting fall pretty soon. I know it's only June right now. At least it's June today when I'm recording this, but fall is going to be coming out soon. Hobby Lobby already has some fall and Christmas out. Of course, Christmas is just a little bit, that one's way too premature, but fall and pumpkins and all kinds are coming out, so it's making me happy. Making me so happy. So look at that. Now, I used some spray foam. We're all clean and ready to go now. I used spray foam. That was it's called Great Stuff. I get it at Walmart. It's like a sealer spray foam for like a home improvement. And it's held up, and it's gonna work again now. So again, if that ever goes out, what I'll do is I would just probably cut it out with a knife or a putty knife or something like that, a spackling knife, and then put some more foam in it or put some actual blocks of styrofoam in it. It's all replaceable. It's nothing that's going to actually damage that container. But I got that container at Michael's a couple years ago, and I love the color, but you guys know I am now a farmhouse girl. And once again, if this ever goes out of style, guess what you can do? You can take it apart and paint it again. You can paint it a different color. You could distress it more. I wanted to make it look like it was made out of a really old piece of white barnwood or something. So I was going a little bit light with this dry brushing at first. Now that's folk art white chalk paint and a chip brush. So I was going pretty light, and then eventually I just kind of slapped that on there in a couple big spots just to make it look like one big piece of wood. But dry brushing is kind of just, for me, it's literally just a beautiful nightmare. It just turns out, or it doesn't. But I mean, every time it does, I've never had dry brushing not turn out. Otherwise, if you get too much, then you get some sandpaper. It's always reversible. Or you go get a piece of paper with some, paper. Go get a piece of paper. Go to your computer. No. Paper towel with some water and you'll be good to go. So all I did was just add my paint, and I'm super happy about that. Now this right here is boxwood I got off of Amazon. Now I bought this a couple weeks ago, and the price has already gone up to a ridiculous amount. So it'll be in my Amazon store, but if I were you, I would not buy it for the price. I got 24 pieces. Currently, as I checked it before I'm recording this here, I got a 24 pack of these. So I got 24 of those bundles you see there. I'm only going to use these 4 for this piece. So I'm just going to cut them all apart. But 24 of them right now, as I'm recording this, is $40.99. That equals about $3.24 a bundle. That's still very affordable, and the quality is really good. But I paid less than that. And of course, I can't remember what it was, but I actually paid, but I paid less than that. In any event, I am going to cut all the stems off of the bundle, and then each stem I'm going to cut into 2 pieces here. I'm showing you the top and then the bottom piece. So I cut each one right at that little V mark right there at the bottom base of my hand. And then I only left 8 stems on the left side whole. So all the rest of the stems I cut into 2 pieces. And I'm just going to surround the outside area around the edges with my boxwood. And I'm just creating a green border, you could say. This is all filler. And again, I am not using glue. And I'll tell you one thing, you guys, this is kind of new to me to not use glue, to not make things permanent. It's actually a lot easier for storing things. It's a lot easier to transition your decor in your home into different seasons and different themes. So if you want to add lemons, if you want to add sunflowers, this is still usable. I would even put Christmas in here because a lot of times you're seeing more and more eucalyptus and different things used in Christmas bushes. So we'll see. I'll actually bring this back and see what you guys think about me transitioning this into other themes and other holidays. And we'll see if you guys want to just watch me turn my little centerpiece, let it change with the seasons in the house. This right here is a bundle of literal, well, I don't want to say crap, but it's flowers. It's flowers. It's stuff and things. My floral wall in my craft room kind of, it peed the bed. For lack of a better term, excuse me. I came in one day and 2 of the racks had fallen off the wall. It was all over the floor, so my husband fixed it. And I was trying to downsize my florals. You guys, it's ridiculous how much I have. So I've tried to make a promise not to buy more. Of course, the boxwood doesn't count. But anyways, so this was a bundle that you get, a mixed bundle that you can get. I got it at Michael's, but you can get the mixed bundles at Hobby Lobby, especially. They have really pretty ones. But this was a sunflower bundle I bought years ago from Michael's. And I had used it for multiple projects, and it had like maybe 6 stems left on it. And then I had another one that had these little flowery, these little daisy ones on it. So this is a combination of just what we were going to call a stash buster. So in order to keep things a little bit neater, I cut them all off of the bigger bundles because they were just all messy and falling everywhere. And then I just kept them in a bundle in a plastic bin. So for this one, it's still very summery for me. You can get by this with spring, but we are past spring at this point. We're in June, so we're going through summer. And then also I wanted to put the yellow in it because I think that's very bright and airy and happy. So I'm cutting these all apart. These ones are smaller bundles, also from Michael's. I had 2 of those left over. But I just went with a white and yellow theme, and I literally grabbed the absolute... Oops, excuse me, guys. How embarrassing. It's my cell phone. I'm sorry. Sorry. It's like in a movie with the cell phone on. Please. I'm sorry. Please don't shush me. My apologies. Anyways, I just put this together because I wanted a fresh, bright, and happy arrangement. And this was fun to not use glue, to just kind of press things in there. This is the fun part for me. I absolutely love making floral arrangements. This is like my first passion, wreathing and floral arrangements. It's just because you can just place things in and they just make you happy. So I just kind of filled in where I wanted. Now I'm using my longer stems of the boxwood that I didn't cut apart. So I'm adding this into the middle to give it height. And then it's also going to pull your edges into your middle. I think I'm making sense, you guys. I am not a professional by any means. I just do what makes me happy. If it looks pretty, it looks full, there's no holes in it, you can't see the styrofoam. Also, if you notice, side note, I did not put that floral moss or the Spanish moss at the bottom again. I won't need it because this boxwood is very thick, and of course, since I used 4 bundles, you can't see through it. Look how pretty. Now these ones, I had 4 of them left, and I wanted them to have a little bit of height, so I kind of got lucky that I had an even number. I like to do things in evens or odds, one or the other, so it's just kind of like take a look and see what you have in your junk, or your junk bucket, or your stash pile, and see if you got an even or odd number, you can make it work. So I had 4 of these girls, and then I'm just kind of twisting it around, and I'm placing them right where they make me happy most. It was really fun. Now I've sped this part up again 5 times, but it still went pretty fast. This was a very fast project, and it still made me so happy. The chalk paint on the bottom of that container dried so quickly that was it. Made me super happy to make. It was very fun, and it's nice to have something fresh and new. Technically, I didn't spend any money on this. Today I didn't spend any money, and obviously I bought all that stuff in the past. But I bought it so long ago that it's like, technically it doesn't count because I can't remember what I spent on it. And it feels good to not have to just go into your, if you feel like you're cluttered, like my craft rooms are cluttered, guys. They're embarrassing kind of cluttered. So I'm trying to make a promise to not purchase anything new, and I need to use my stash to make things and sell them, or gift them, or donate them. But in any event, the only thing I bought there was that boxwood, and it's already paying off. They are so pretty. I love that whole thing. Again, it's 2 feet wide. It's pretty thin, but it has a decent presence and a good weight to it. And it's sitting on my kitchen counter right above my sink. On my bar, I have like an island where my sink is, so it looks out into my living room, and I can see it from everywhere out when I'm out there, and I love it. Makes me happy. And when I do some lemons, I might stick some lemons in there for summer. And that's it. So here, this is our little bonus extra DIY. This was a flower pot I've had for absolute ever. I've had it for ages. Now I'm going to chalk paint it. So again, I don't know what I'm doing, but chalk paint comes off of things. This has a nice glaze on it. So I'm sanding it. I'm roughing it up. This took a little bit of time, but that's an 80 grit sandpaper I have on that sander. That little hand sander is so comfortable to use. I love it. So now I'm going back at it with the chalk paint. And I'm going very messy, very heavy in some spots, very light. But you're going to tell, like, I'll start out pretty light, but you're going to see me add one thick piece to one area and then one not. I kind of go at it pretending like it's going to be some sort of like reclaimed barnwood. But I want it to look weathered. I want it to look aged. So here I'm going to add pumpkin and maize. So yellow and orange, also Waverly chalk paint. And I'm going to add it. Yes, I know I covered up an orange to put different orange on it. But this is not a shiny, glossy, like electric orange. This is a nice muted orange. It's still a bright, pretty orange, and you can see the original orange through all the paint. It's not that I covered it up to get rid of it, but it's still visible. So once all our paint is dry, I'm going to Mod Podge it to seal it. I don't have a spray sealer. I know you can get like a Rust-Oleum sealer. There's all kinds of different like spray paint, spray can sealers. I don't have any of that. I have Mod Podge, and I know Mod Podge is a good sealer. So I'm putting one thick layer in rows, starting at the bottom and going to the top. And I know for a fact, once this dries, it will give it enough of a seal that the paint should not chip off of it. If I ding it or bump it, it should be fine. If it gets wet again, the water won't reactivate the acrylic chalk paint, so it won't like smudge. Because this is also in my kitchen, so there is a chance that water could hit it. I mean, it's not going to be torrential downpour or anything, but you know what I'm saying. Anyways, so after everything's dry, here's what we look like. And that's a matte Mod Podge, so there's no shine to it. It's not glossy. And it feels actually kind of smooth on the outside. So that's it for that. I just couldn't leave that shiny, glossy thing. It just bothered me. So now I'm going to take a block of styrofoam from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to cut the ends off of it just to get it to fit in our little bucket, in our little pot perfectly well. I am going to hot glue it down. That's about all that is quote, it's technically permanent. Now again, this is something we can interchange. We're not going to use glue. We are going to use more boxwood. Here I've pulled one bundle out, and then just like before, I have some stash buster. You can see here I've used these on other projects, and these are our leftovers. So I cut them all apart. I left the stems whole after I cut them from the bundle and the eucalyptus, and you saw here I did the same thing. I put a perimeter of the boxwood around the outside, and I just placed what was left in a satisfying pattern. Now there were some holes on the side, so I got another stem of boxwoods, and then I cut those apart and I filled it in. That is it. This one took probably less than 5, maybe 6 or 7 minutes to do. Now of course I'm speeding this up for the for the sake of editing a video, but this one was also very satisfying. I could do this all day long, guys. I wish it'd be great if this could be my job, just creating arrangements. I love putting flowers together. There's something that makes me smile. It makes me happy inside. It's just, you feel like when pieces start hitting each other in the right spot, then you get that happy little giddy feeling, and it just makes you smile. Like you can be sitting in a room smiling at yourself, looking a little insane, but it's okay because I am, for flowers. So anyways, that's it. These two were really fun to do. This is the most fun I've had using the least amount of supplies. I didn't use any ribbon, and we didn't use any glue except for the one part with the styrofoam. So again, repurpose your goodies. Don't put much glue in them, and then you can keep all of these in little plastic totes, and then you have a couple totes of already cut or clipped flowers that are very easy, ready to use. These things were super fun to make, and I just love looking at them. It's really hot out here in Las Vegas, so it's the days where I'm keeping most of the shutters closed, the blinds closed to keep the house cool. We're looking at lately 106, 108. So having this bright yellowy white green arrangement around the house makes me feel good, at least until I can go outside and then you can look at the real nature. But some of these things don't grow in where I'm from, you know what I'm saying? I live in the desert, guys. I gotta buy it fake. That's how I get by. Tell me what you think, guys. I loved this. This was fun and fast, and I figured this would be good for just a quick little video before my normal, weekend or Friday videos. This one made me happy. Tell me what you think, guys. So that's it for today. I want to thank you guys so much for spending your time with me and just sitting through my chaoticness. Here, I have a coffee page here, so should you feel the need or the want to buy me a coffee, it helps support the channel and the page. I have stuff everywhere, so I need to sell it. I mean, it's everywhere. I can do an embarrassing, tour of my craft room, my bathrooms, my kitchen. It's everywhere. It's taking over my life. So I am going to start selling some things on my coffee page, so check that out also. It's in the description and also the pin to the first comment below. But thank you guys so much for everything you do. You guys help me as much as you say I help you, and I appreciate you more than you guys could possibly know. So thank you guys so much again. I love every single one of you. And many hugs. Happy crafting. Take care of yourselves. And I'll see you guys in the next video, okay? Bye-bye.